The rats are fleeing the ship. Not only did Koshi resign, not only did Joe Biden cancel his trip to Australia, but on top of all of that, WA Premier Mark McGowan, he's resigned. A lot of people are asking me the question, why is he resigning now? He was taken to court by Clive Palmer. He locked down his state. He mandated the jabs for a number of different professions. And finally, he sees the writing on the wall, not only with The Voice, but also with the COVID inquisition that's going on from people like us asking questions. Why is it, if you look around the entire country, all of these premiers, they're just jumping off the plague ship. They're getting out of the way because their lies are being exposed. In Mark McGowan's circumstance, I have some ideas and I'm curious what you guys think about it. So write it in the comments because I can see your comments. First off, a lot of the COVID lies are being exposed. Dr. Malhotra from the UK, he is someone that's been touring Australia just recently and he's getting a lot of mainstream attention as well. I was at his show in Sydney. It was phenomenal. He went way over and every minute was worth it. It was excellent. And he's actually touring WA on the 10th of June. And he's exposing a lot of these lies that we were told about the jab, about the lockdowns and the efficacy of lockdowns. And he's exposing it all. And I think people like Mark McGowan, they're running, they're hiding, they're trying to get out of the way. But on top of that, we've also got Donald Trump Jr. also touring the country as well. And the Voice proposal, if you guys don't know about that, the Aboriginal voice to the Parliament, the way things are going right now, the polling's not looking good for the establishment. It's not looking good for the corporations and the leftists and Pfizer who are pushing the yes side. Prime Minister Albanese is so worried that it's going to flop that tonight he's actually doing a big address on it to try and consolidate support. Having Mark McGowan resign today, that doesn't help him at all. And the thing with WA, just like Queensland, is it is one of the most solidly no places in the country. It's looking like WA is a safe no. Why is that? Well, a lot of the population over there, especially the Aboriginals, they don't like this. They say that they were not consulted. As I said, I just came from WA. I've talked to many people with Aboriginal connections, Aboriginal elders. They don't like this Voice proposal. And I think that Mark McGowan sees the writing on the wall and he doesn't want to be the sitting premier in WA that is the premier of a state that is one of the three that votes no. You need 3 states to vote no to kill the Voice proposal. The way it's looking right now, Queensland and WA, they're solidly no. South Australia and New South Wales, they're on the fence. If either one of South Australia or New South Wales vote no, this thing's dead. It's gone. Unfortunately, Victoria and Tasmania look like the most likely places to vote yes. But going back to this and this resignation by Mark McGowan, I don't think he wants to be holding the bag when this voice proposal fails. Not only is he resigning as the Premier, but he's resigning his own seat, which triggers a by-election. That means there's going to be a mini-election for his particular seat. And on top of that, Prime Minister Albanese is so worried about the Voice proposal flopping on a national scale, he has to do a speech on it tonight. And I have no doubt he's going to probably insult the Australian people and say, if you don't vote for this, you're racist. It's like, try telling that to a guy that looks like me in southwest Sydney. Try telling that to the Aboriginals in rural Australia, rural WA, Queensland, the Northern Territory. They don't want this. This Voice proposal is being pushed by the people in Canberra, by the 80% of Aboriginals that live very well off in the actual urban centres of this country, not the 20% of rural Aboriginals that live in rural Australia. They're not the ones being properly consulted on this. When I look at the things that are going on, Dr. Malhotra has been doing a tour around the country and he has been exposing the COVID lies really well. And he's got a tour right now along the East Coast and also in WA. I don't think that Premier Mark McGowan likes the COVID lies being exposed. I think that he's trying to flee the plague ship. Meanwhile, in Victoria, you got Dan Andrews, who's doubling down even more. He's that delusional. He's pushing the fifth jab. I mean, bro, just drop it. Drop it. It's not cool anymore. The other aspect is Donald Trump Jr. is coming to Australia. And I'm very excited about this. I've just been touring the country right now, not for a speaking tour, but I've been touring for Intel in Victoria, Queensland, and WA. But while I was away, we did announce that Donald Trump Jr. is touring. And he is someone that doesn't pull his punches, especially on the COVID lie. And he's wondering what happened to Australia. I love Australia. And so what's going on in Australia is being exposed by these people like Dr. Malhotra, by Donald Trump Jr., and them coming here and exposing it and calling it out and them having their own following. I do think that a lot of these premiers are worried, and a lot of these people in the establishment, like Koshi from Sunrise, they're getting out of the way because they pushed the jab. They pushed the lockdowns. You were a bad citizen if you didn't follow what the establishment said. And so I look at this and I am filled with excitement. On top of that, is it a coincidence that the same day that we announced Donald Trump Jr. is touring Australia, Joe Biden cancels his trip for the Quad meeting in Australia? I don't know. I have no idea. I can't tell you. It's hilarious. But the funny thing about Mark McGowan resigning is I literally just got back from WA. I sort of got a feel for where people's minds at, where the freedom community's at. I went to a protest there and attended to see what people are thinking. And man, those people are primed and ready to take their state back. They really do not like Mark McGowan. And I think Mark McGowan sees the writing on the wall with COVID. He sees the writing on the wall with The Voice. And he does not want to embarrass his legacy, himself, his family, by being one of the presiding premiers over a state that is going to vote no to The Voice. I mean, imagine, we know Queensland's going to be a no. Is Palaszczuk going to resign? I mean, she's got an election happening, late next year in October for Queensland, which I'm also helping with. We're coming after you. Like we are mobilizing for elections. We are actually so angry. People are so angry with what's been going on. And the Voice proposal, it's a flashpoint. I mean, the moment it was announced, they oppose what's going on. If you guys are listening right now and you think more people need to hear about this good news, give it a share. There's almost 400 of you listening live right now. If all of you shared it, this would reach 15,000 people, guaranteed. This is insane what's going on. And I think that the idea that the Premier is jumping out of the way, I think Albo's worried. I think he's startled, and this is my fear. This is my big fear. I'm worried that he won't take the Voice proposal to an actual vote in October. I'm really worried. I would rather him take it to a vote, us smash it, and then, we have some momentum. But I'm worried he's going to pull the plug on the Voice vote because he thinks he will lose. They will not let it go to a vote if they think it will lose. And so, look, it's good to be back, guys. I'm really happy to be announcing that the Donald Trump Jr. Tour is happening. If you haven't got your tickets yet, I strongly recommend you do at trumplive.com.au. We've already sold out the VIP passes and the backstage meet and greet passes. So they're going very quickly in Sydney, Brisbane, and Melbourne. But there are a ton of general admission and other ticket sizes as well. This is the second actually of many tours we're doing. The first one we did was Nigel Farage last year and people loved it. Donald Trump Jr., it's a big step up in the world. It really is. And I'm stoked to see him coming out. So make sure you secure your tickets. The last thing I want to hear is people saying, Joel, we missed out. I've already got people saying that about some of the tickets that we have that are sold out. But make sure you get those tickets in early. If you haven't seen Dr. Malhotra, that's happening in the next couple of weeks. Please book it in. Please book it in. He's an amazing speaker. He's an absolute legend of massive insights on the topic of COVID. He is an expert on this particular topic. As much as the establishment likes to remind us that, we're not filled with experts in our ranks, he knows what he's talking about. I listened to him last week and it was absolutely powerful, on Saturday actually. And so that's the breaking news. That's what's going on Remember to give this a share. God bless you guys. It's good to be back. You can expect